Hello there. Boy, am I excited that you could join me today because I have a secret for you. Everybody wants to know, when will rates be in the 5% range? But what if I told you that there's actually an opportunity for you to get a mortgage loan rate in the 4% range? Would you be interested? Check it out. The University of California has created a program. It's called the MOP Program, or a Mortgage Origination Program, that is designed to attract and retain members of the academic senate. Now, the University of California, Santa Cruz is the university that we have right here in beautiful Santa Cruz, and it's where I went to college, and it's where thousands of people go to college every single year. But also, the University of California, Santa Cruz creates an enormous amount of job opportunities and contributes tremendously to our Santa Cruz economy. In fact, in 2021, there was a study that was done that indicated that the University of California, Santa Cruz has created over 18,000 jobs and contributes, now this is a big number, $892.5 million back into the labor market right here in Santa Cruz for Santa Cruz residents. So if you work at the University of California, Santa Cruz, I think you're going to want to listen up, because there is a possibility that you might be able to get a mortgage interest rate in the 4% range. In fact, in 2024, while the mortgage rates were trending in the mid to 6% up and above 7% range, the MOP, or Mortgage Origination Program, that was designed for the University of California specifically and University of California, Santa Cruz to attract and retain professors and members of the academic board, their mortgage interest rates were trending between 4.15 and 4.5%. Hi, I'm Shemeika Fox, your Santa Cruz real estate expert. And if you want to learn a little bit about how you may potentially qualify for a mortgage rate in the 4% range, listen up. First of all, the MOP, or Mortgage Origination Program, was created by the University of California in order to support recruitment and retention of faculty and senior staff. So what does that mean? That means if you work at the University of California, Santa Cruz, there could be an opportunity for you to get a mortgage loan in the 4% rate. The MOP program provides first deeds of trust with an adjustable rate mortgage after the first year. There is a cap on it of 10%, and you cannot go below 3.25%. The adjustable rate is based on the university index, and in the year 2024, we saw rates for this MOP program fluctuate between 4.15% and 4.5%. So who qualifies for this MOP, or Mortgage Origination Program, right here in Santa Cruz? Let's take a look at who would qualify for this type of loan, because believe me, it is quite attractive to be able to buy a home with a mortgage rate in the 4% range. So the people that would qualify for the MOP program are full-time university appointees who are members of the academic board senate or hold an equivalent title, senior management group employees, and if you're at the University of California, San Francisco, eligible members of UCSF law. So a few requirements that you should be familiar with regards to the MOP program are: properties for consideration must be within a reasonable commute distance to your job at the university. So I actually sold 2 properties that were outside of Santa Cruz County using the MOP program, and these clients work at the University of California, Santa Cruz. One of them purchased a home in San Jose, and the other one purchased a home in San Francisco. And ultimately, it was more about getting what they wanted for the amount that they could afford, because Santa Cruz has such a limited housing market. They wanted a bit more with regards to the location and the condition of the home. And so we were able to secure a MOP loan to purchase a home, one in San Jose, one in San Francisco, 2 separate clients, as you're only allowed to use the MOP for your primary residence, and they were within a reasonable commute time to get to the University of California, Santa Cruz. Another requirement is that the participant must not have owned a home or a primary residence within the last 12 months that would be considered a reasonable commute to the university in which they work at. So if you owned a home within the last 12 months and you're just trying to take advantage of this very low interest rate, then you will have to sell that home, wait 12 plus months before you can reapply for the MOP program and purchase a new home. The MOP program only allows single-family residents and condos, and the single-family residents have to be on less than 5 acres. So if you're trying to purchase an investment property or a multi-residential or a commercial property, the MOP program will not work for you. Also, the loan may not be used as a construction loan. So if you want to purchase a piece of land, which I do have a lot of clients that always talk about wanting to buy land and build, because again, there's just such a limited amount of housing inventory right here in Santa Cruz that it makes it challenging when you're looking and looking and looking. And then all of a sudden you get an idea that, hey, let me build right here in Santa Cruz. Let me buy a piece of land and I'll build on the land. That way I can have exactly what I want. I can design it, which you should watch my other video on building in Santa Cruz, because you think you're going to get exactly what you want and you think you're going to save money, but at the end of the day, you're actually going to end up spending quite a lot more money to buy a piece of land and build. But regardless, you cannot use a MOP loan for a construction loan, so that would not work for this type of program anyways. Loans are not assumable. So an assumable loan, generally speaking, would be a VA loan or an FHA loan. It's something that's government backed, and if the buyer of a property were to be able to qualify for that loan, they could assume it. Now, what the enticing piece of having an assumable loan is obviously this low interest rate. So in this instance, these are not assumable loans. So when you go to sell your property, this loan will have to be paid off, and a new mortgage will have to be placed on the property for the new buyer. This is an interesting caveat too, or something that you should really be aware of, that if you were to sever your relationship or quit or lose your job at the university, then the loan would be repayable within 6 months. So if you were to leave the university and you would either need to refinance and pay off the MOP program, or you would need to sell and pay off the MOP program within 6 months of your severance with the university. Another requirement is that the MOP program will want to look at both a home inspection and a pest report, and they actually have requirements with Section 1 clearance. Section 1 clearance means that there cannot be any live or current infestation or wood rot on the property. So if there is, that will either need to be dealt with prior to the close of escrow, or in some circumstances, they will allow a holdback of up to $10,000, and the work can be completed within 90 days of the closing. So let's say that you need a deck to be replaced and the sellers just simply don't want to take the time to replace the deck. They've agreed to your terms. They've accepted your offer. You are getting a MOP loan, and the lender is requiring that the entire deck be replaced because of dry rot or Section 1 work that needs to be completed. We can actually close escrow and hold back up to $10,000 and have that work done within the first 90 days after closing, and then the Section 1 clearance after the work has been completed would need to be provided to the MOP program, or again, the Mortgage Origination Program, so that they can sign off on it. So there are ways in which you can navigate the Section 1 clearance. It does not have to be done in or during escrow if we aren't able to negotiate that with the seller, but it does have to be done within 90 days of the closing, and money has to be held in escrow until that work is completed. So you have to be sure that you have a contractor on board ready to go, and that the timing of the completion of the work will align with that 90-day period. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm really excited for the possibility right here in Santa Cruz to explore mortgage rates in the 4% range. So if you have any questions or would like to chat further about the details and opportunity about you securing a mortgage in that 4% range, I think you should give me a call. I'm Shemeika Fox, your Santa Cruz real estate expert, and as soon as we get that pre-approval, we can go find you a house.